Matt, annuities are gaining momentum in retirement planning. What's driving this trend?
There's a few things driving it. First, in these uncertain times, clients are looking for financial dependability and security. Second, when we look at annuities, they offer tax deferral, market protections, and guaranteed lifetime income. And the third big trend that we've seen is we've seen annuities embedded in financial planning software and tools. So now clients can see it as part of their overall portfolio and their overall financial plan.
And a lot of those clients see annuities through their advisors. So what should their advisors be thinking about when it comes to choosing an annuity at a top level?
So I think about a framework when we talk about annuities fitting into their financial plan: growth, access, predictable income, and protection. On the growth side, we think about things like ETFs, managed monies, annuities, stocks, individual bonds. On the access side, we want to think about people's liquidity needs, right? Checking accounts, savings accounts, short-term investments. On the predictable income side, that's where we're thinking about lifetime income. So Social Security, pension plans, and of course, annuities provide lifetime guaranteed income. And then on the protection side, we always think about life insurance, disability insurance, and long-term care planning. So we think about how do annuities kind of fit into those different buckets.
Perhaps one of the things that confuses a lot of investors, maybe not their financial advisors, is all the acronyms out there. There's RILAs, there's FIAs. It's hard to keep track, hard to keep a scoreboard of all the different types of annuities. How do you do it?
So we're going to try and make it really simple for everybody. First, when we think about fixed annuities, you'll hear this term MYGA, multi-year guaranteed annuity. This is where we guarantee your annuity from 2 to 10 years at a fixed rate of return, no downside, really conservative investors. Then you'll hear the term FIA, or fixed indexed annuity. Here, we look at 100% downside protection with capped on the market on the upside. You're not investing directly in the market, you're investing in an index that invests in the market, but that gives you some comfort with some upside. And then RILA, registered index linked annuity. A little more downside, but protection from really strong downturns, but also a little more on the upside. And then, of course, variable annuities, just invest directly in the market, 100% of the upside, but there's also some riders that offer market protection. Then you have your income annuities, so folks who are looking to create lifetime income, immediate income in the next 12 months, or folks who are looking to start income for retirement in the next 2 to 10 years.
Let's talk a little bit about liquidity, which you mentioned before, because recently there's been a lot of buffered ETFs that have hit the market, which to a certain extent are good competitors for annuities, maybe not in your opinion. So can you talk about the liquidity, quote unquote, problem with annuities?
So first, I'd like to take a step back and think of the overall plan in that framework of growth, access, predictable income, protection. Want to make sure that as you're working with your financial advisor, your liquidity needs are covered with either checking account, savings, or short-term money market. So really think about that part as the plan. Look, annuities do have some liquidity features if you need to tap into them, but I encourage people to look at the overall plan and make sure they have their liquidity needs covered in other places.
And if you tap into them, is it going to cost you a lot? Because costs are the other thing which have traditionally kept people back from getting into annuities.
Yeah, typically the annuities will offer anywhere from 10 to 20% access to your cash without any sales charges and taking your money out. So there is some liquidity features built in where you can get your money out without a penalty or a cost.
And what about on the way in? Can you talk about costs on the way in?
So on the way in, typically there's a bunch of different share classes for annuities where you don't have a cost on the way in. You have a back-end sales charge to cover any expenses if you decide to leave your annuity early.
The other thing about ETFs, they're tax efficient. So can you talk about annuities when it comes to taxation?
Sure. So annuities are tax deferred, right? So you don't pay taxes immediately. You'll get tax compounding over time on what you put in, the growth, the interest on your growth. So over time, it really is a driver of benefit when you can defer those taxes for a long period of time.
And then finally, on the positive side, they really help with stability because people are worried about a volatile market. I know it was very volatile this past spring. It's calmed down since then. But for annuity holders, not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, annuities, there's lots of folks when they think about guaranteed life, you get that check in the mail every year, right? You don't have to worry about what the market's doing, or you can separate where you're getting your income from for how you're investing. So no matter what's happening in the market, you're getting that guaranteed check every month, and you have peace of mind knowing that that's going to come no matter what happens.
All right, well, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Great, thanks for having me.